So today I thought we'd have a go at making the stamps that create this card. These are my very simple Christmas cards this year, and they're made with some foam stamps which I made myself. That's the leaf and that is the berry. I just added a stamp sentiment at the bottom. That was a stamp that came free with a magazine. I want to make some little tags with a similar design on them. So I've got my large stamps, so I'm going to make some small ones, leaves, but the berries I think I'm going to use a cotton bud just to add the berries. So we'll go ahead and make the stamps. This is Funky Foam. It's quite cheap to buy and you can make an awful lot of homemade stamps out of one sheet. All I do to create my stamps, I have an idea in my head and then I just draw it onto my foam with just a ballpoint pen really, basically, or you could use a gel pen, whatever makes a mark. So that's my holly leaf. I use a pair of, these are sewing scissors from Hobbycraft, and they're very great for fussy cutting or anything like that. And you just basically cut out the foam shape that you want for your stamp. Try not to dig your nails into the foam when you're holding it, because that will leave an indentation which will show up on your finished image. So it's very small, but that is my holly leaf. I have a craft knife and I want to not cut the foam but just make an imprint. So I'm going to go from the middle just to the bottom with the veins of the leaf. I'm just pressing enough to make a mark, but not actually cut the foam at all. Once I've done that, I'm going to stick it to some just corrugated card. This is just extra strong PVA that I'm using. Just move it about so it gets everywhere. It does take a little while for the Funky Foam to stick completely, but there's no rush. And I tend to, so that I know where I'm stamping my leaves or whatever, I cut just around the foam, piece of foam on my cardboard. Not too close, but just leaving a little tiny border, just so that when I'm positioning it I know where the leaf is, rather than having a big piece like this which I can't tell whereabouts the leaf is. I'm going to then stick that to, because this corrugated cardboard is quite thin, I'm going to stick it to another one. If you had a piece of say MDF or something like that there was the right size, you could use that, but obviously you wouldn't be able to cut round your design, so it's better for sort of background designs. Again, I'm just going to cut off the excess cardboard. This is quite small, so I can hope you can see it. On the large ones, I made a little handle because it's easier to pick them up, and that is just a piece of cardboard. I'm going to cut this one in two because I don't think I'll need it that big. Bend it in half approximately. So you see you've got it like that, and then you're going to bend two bits up, the ends up. So then that will make the handle, which will hopefully stick on the back of there. So we'll stick that on. I'll put a bit of glue in the middle. And then a little bit of glue there. And then we'll just position it midway there. Again, that'll take a little while just to stick, but we could have a look and see if our stamp has worked. Let's get some spare paper. So, this is why you leave it to set a little bit. Right, I'll use some mowed lawn, I think. Hopefully that's set enough now. Yeah. And this is the same process with the big stamps as it is with this little one. So I'm just going to press it onto my ink pad. Look and see if I've got a reasonable covering. And then just press it onto my paper. Yeah. And that's quite a nice holly leaf. There we are. I may press the indentations a little bit more so you get more veining, but you can go over later with a fine liner and put in the veins and go around the edges. This is just a Q-tip, cotton bud, which I'm just getting some ink on. And then I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3 berries. And that will be quite nice for using on tags, gift wrapping, anything I wanted. You can actually print your own gift wrapping by putting brown paper from the post office or wherever, laying it out on a table with a flat surface, and then printing with your larger foam stamps and adding some berries as well. If you want to make it a little bit more definite design, once you've stamped everything, you can go round the outside and along the veins to make it more distinct. Just doing this roughly, but you would take a bit more care. There we are. And that's your homemade foam stamp, ready to use on whatever you want. So sometimes I do 2 similar size stamps, but so that the leaves are different when you come to stamp them. Like with this one, I've got 2 stamps and they are slightly different, so that makes the leaves look different, but you could do it with just 1. This is, as I say, I've got my thumbprint on there, one that I've outlined and just added some accents on there. But these are obviously for my tags. So I hope you enjoy that and give it a go.